You're listening to the BBC World Service and the Newsroom programme with me, Paul Moss. We don't know his motive, we don't know exactly what weapon he used, but a gunman who killed 10 people in the US city Monterey Park yesterday is still on the run. Just as Lunar New Year celebrations, were wrapping up in the city dubbed Chinese Beverly Hills, the suspect fired indiscriminately into a ballroom dance venue. Monterey Park is home to around 60,000 people, a significant proportion of whom are of Asian heritage. They were part of the New Year celebrations earlier that night.
I had my headphones on at the time, but I did hear some sounds going off, and I was like, oh, fireworks? Yeah,
I was like sad. I thought we were missing fireworks.
And then I knew for a fact it was not fireworks when I heard the helicopter up above, because we never get helicopters around here.
Flanked by the FBI and local politicians, Los Angeles County Sheriff gave more details on the suspect in a news conference today.
There is a male suspect that fled the scene and remains outstanding. Our very preliminary description has been described as a male Asian, and it's taken us a while, and please be patient with us, because as we're interviewing victims and witnesses, we've gotten different descriptions of one suspect.
The Congresswoman Judy Chu expressed her sympathy.
My thoughts and condolences go to the victims of this horrific crime. I can only imagine the terror, pain, and anxiety that they feel, and how devastated the families of those who were killed must feel right now. And I can't even imagine that such a thing would happen in this community.
Congresswoman Judy Chu. Well, joining me now is Regan Morris, who's in Monterey Park. Regan, what more did we learn from that news conference?
Well, they have conflicting reports of who the shooter is, and they're not saying if it was a hate crime. They're not ruling that out. But I'm here on the ground at the police cordon talking to locals, and some people here have been telling me they believe it was started with an act of domestic violence, and that maybe there was jealousy involved. This is not confirmed, but this is what locals here are saying, and it's really sad. The street I'm on, right across from the dance club, is where they were supposed to be having the second day of a big Lunar New Year festival. So part of the street was already cordoned off with vendors and tents and people. They were here all day yesterday. It was apparently a very joyous day, because after 2 years of COVID and cancellations, the New Year's festival was in full effect. There were loads of people out. It was packed. I spoke to a man who lives just down the street from the dance club, and it was a traditional ballroom dance club. And he said he heard the music stop, and then all night there were helicopters up. And unlike, I think they said that in the police conference as well, this is not the heart of LA. This is a quiet place, and they're not used to police choppers up all night. And it was noisy. People here couldn't sleep.
I'm struck by the fact that the gunman is still at large, and I'm wondering how people are feeling. I mean, you could certainly imagine a certain amount of fear.
Well, yes, I'm not sensing a lot of fear on the ground. This gunman is still at large, but people here seem more saddened and shocked and a bit angry that this keeps happening. I keep talking to people who say, why was he able to get this gun? This isn't right. There's a lot of people here questioning that, which is similar to what we hear, sadly, after almost every mass shooting in the United States. It sparks a gun control debate, but there's not a lot of fear. I mean, there's a lot of people out on the streets coming to look. I don't think people think there's not an active manhunt around us. They're not running through the streets after anyone. We don't know where he is. If it is confirmed, if it was domestic violence, presumably they have some names. They're just not telling us.
Regan Morris in Monterey Park. Thanks very much indeed.